everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, because I'm going to talk to you today about media and getting more of it. Elliot, I love the fact that you said raise your oh, there you are. I'm like looking at your banner and talking to your banner. It's beautiful. Yes, so you raised your public profile. But that's really what I'm going to be focusing on for all of you today, is to how to raise your public profile in simple, easy ways that'll get your message heard in ways that won't cost you a fortune. Would that be good?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, here's what I'm really passionate about, and that is your message. Interestingly enough, write down the word message for a moment. What are the first two letters? Yes. What are the four last letters of message? Sage. Sage. Right? Who's a sage in the room? Raise your hand if you're an expert or a sage. Raise your hand. I'm going to look around until every hand is up. Angel, you too. Thank you. Thank you. You are all experts. You are all experts. You would not be in this room if you weren't. So please know that's what I know about you. Now, interestingly enough, circle the first four letters of message. What's it spell? Mess. That's what happens when you don't get your message right. Yeah. Interesting. All those words in the word message. Isn't that fascinating? Now, here's what I want to say to you about just my own story. I mean, you know, it all looks good. I got 4 best-selling books. I'm with major publishers. I've been blessed to help many, many people throughout the years get their message heard. But I started really reflecting, what is it that drives me? Because really, for me, I am a messenger of messengers. Can anyone relate to being a messenger? Yes. And I really got that for myself. Like, that's really who I am. And where did that come from? Like, what drove me to get into publicity, to support others to get their message out, to really help others be heard? And of course, for myself, I've had to be heard because I have my own journey through all of this, right? And so going through my own journey through all of this, I'm able to also help all of you because I see what works in the marketplace and what doesn't. And then I started thinking about my family. Okay, now, I don't know about you, but I didn't come from a good one. Am I the only one in here? You know, they were messed up. I'd use other words, but I won't because I'm on stage and I'm being videotaped. Let me just say, a narcissistic mother, a gambling addict. She lived here in Vegas. Not good for a gambling addict. I had to actually take care of her for 7 years in the last part of her life because no one else in my family would talk to her. That's how bad of a mother she was. Okay? But I frankly have done enough of my own forgiveness work, enough of my own personal development work, and gotten to a place where I just, you know, did what I needed to do for her because I knew it was right. But I'll tell you, when I was a kid, you know, frankly, I have a lot of mental illness in my family. My brother has 24-hour care. Currently, he's 52 years old. My father, also mentally ill and on drugs and all kinds of other fun stuff. And let me share with you that what I realized when I was young was that nobody got me. Does anyone else just ever feel like that? Like people don't quite get you? Yeah, thank you. Speakers are often like this, funny enough, because I think we end up speaking and creating messages that will help others and impact others because maybe nobody heard us when we were young. Think about that. I don't think anybody heard me when I was young. I don't think they got me. I don't think I was understood. And I realized that as I was journeying throughout, and as I've learned and grown, and as I've learned how to speak on stage and supported many others to get their message out, that was the blessing for me. You know, like I wasn't seen and heard, so now I'm going to be seen and heard, and now I'm going to help others be seen and heard. Isn't that cool? And that just really clunked in recently. So I just want to share that with you, that for me, that's the power of publicity. And that's the power of getting your message heard. And what I'm really clear about is your message matters. So what I want to share with you today, and by the way, would you do me a favor? On your tables are 3 things for me. One is a drawing. Please enter it, because I'm going to give you a half hour of my publicity time worth $197. So please fill that out. If you'd be so kind and return it to my table, which is over here on my left side. Okay? So take each one of those 3. And if you need any, just raise your hand, and Becky was going to help me out with that. So here's what I know about your message. You have to say it quickly. You have to be fearless in it. And even if you're not fearless in it, what I've known in working with people is that when your confidence rises and your message is right, and that you can say it consistently, write these two words down, to be consistent and persistent in the marketplace, when you can do that, your confidence will escalate. You will be a superstar in your industry. Don't be afraid of that term. And become known for what you need to be known for. So I think that's really a key. And what I know about your message is that it's important to have one that's simple, quick, and easy to say. Under 30 seconds. So I have to share with you my latest book, Profit of Kindness, which I'm very excited about, just came out. And it came out in January, so it's still a newborn. And I've been so far on 7 Fox TV interviews. And through Jackie Lapin, thank you, Jackie, she's up here in the front, her Conscious Media program, I've been on over 45 radio interviews, woohoo, including the Jenny McCarthy Show, yay. And on top of that, I've been featured in Inc. magazine, Fortune magazine, CEO magazine, Selling Power magazine, all for Profit of Kindness and about using kindness in business. Can you get that? But can I share with you about Fox? Like I was on Fox 5 here in Vegas on their morning show, and I'm sitting with the lovely morning show lady, and she says to me, now we're 2 minutes to airtime, right? Which is a little like, oh my God moment. You know, it's like, whoa, there's lots of energy building. She says to me, Jill, do you want to talk about kindness in politics? Not. Or do you want to talk about kindness in the world? Now you got to hear something. My book's about using kindness in business and how to create best relationships and keep things going. But what you got to hear, my friends, is that I want you to write down, use everything you've got. Because when my book came out, Trump was just inaugurated. Our country is going through one of the biggest divisions in history. And my press release did not say, ooh, Jill's got a new book. Who cares? I mean, no offense. But Jackie, I'm sure you remember, my press release said the divided states of America, right? That's what we are now, the divided states of America. And that message got me on all those Fox TV networks. And that message is what I talked about on television, not the book, not my 7-fold pathway to kindness, profit, not any of that. So I want you to get off of what you think you speak about, what your book's about. Who are my authors in the room? Let me see my authors. Oh, excellent. Who are my want-to-be authors, meaning you are creating a book right now? Thank you. Excellent, because they are born, because we speak them into creation, right? And one of the things that I know about this is that it doesn't really matter what you speak about, what your message is about. What matters is that you get into the media. And do you want to know how to get into the media? Do you want to know? You have to use everything you've got. And in my case, I wrote a book about kindness. We applied it to Trump and his lack of it. We applied it to business and sometimes the lack of it, right? And it doesn't really matter. Use it all. There was a woman in my publicity course recently, which I'll tell you about in a bit, and she's been shot in the face 8 times while she was driving. Shot it 8 times, and one of them got her in the face. Okay, can you imagine what that would be like? So she comes into my Zoom course, and she's all excited about being a women's empowerment coach and helping people get over their beliefs. And I'm like looking at her, and I said, on Zoom, I'm looking at her and I said, darling, how many people are shot every single day? Because I actually, I was watching CNN the other night, and I watched under the chyron, that's what it's called, is they go under your name and what's on the screen. And it said 30 people have been shot in that hour. 30 people had been shot in that hour. And I said to Luna, I said, Luna, I love the empowerment piece. I know that's your heart. I know that's the work you're going to do. But here's what I want to say to you. This is not what's going to get you in the news. What's going to get you in the news is the fact that 30 people are shot every single hour. And that you have been. You've lived to tell the story. You are speaking. You are beautiful. You are self-empowered. You are focused. You are the word and the voice for these people who are shot. That is your message. And I remember she looked at me like just kind of freaked out, honestly. She's like, I don't know how to talk about that because every time I talk about it, all I do is cry. Well, let me share with you that crying is okay. Even on air, even in front of people. But you have to learn to tell a story so that you're not like totally in tears and falling down, but that you're telling the story that's right, that's powerful. That's like, Emily, you did a beautiful job of that, telling a very powerful, emotional story, right, of your background. But look at her now, success and focused and helping others be successful and focused, right? And that's using a story to teach. So using everything you've got, write down right now one thing that could be something about you that either maybe people don't even know. Maybe it's something vulnerable you haven't shared, because those are usually the best. Maybe it's something that's about your ethnicity or your religion. Like my Christian clients go into Christian media. My African American clients go to Black Enterprise Magazine and urban radio shows, right? Use everything you've got. My women clients go to women's magazines and women's radio shows and all kinds of blogs and columns throughout the country that focus on women. What can you be using that perhaps you haven't? And I'll share with you a man who was recently with me in my publicity course is Pakistani. And we were going deep on this and drilling out, what is it about you that you can be using? And he said, well, I'm Pakistani. I'm like, great, let me just ask you, he lives in LA. And I want you to Google right now, I said to him, how many Pakistani newspapers, letters, newsletters, anything media-oriented are there in Los Angeles? And he looked, and he said, there are 5. Well, by the time I finished with him, he had gotten on 2. Do you think he reached more people with this specific strategy than he had before? Yes. You bet he did. That's the power of publicity and using everything you've got. Call it out. What could you be using? Let me hear. Call it out. Say again? Parenting. Yes. And usually in each marketplace there are at least 4 to 5 family magazines, parenting magazines in almost every market, specifically across the U.S. Who else? Spirituality, thank you. All kinds of New Age and spiritual magazines, market to market. Absolutely, thank you. What else? Boomers and seniors, yes. Absolutely, and I also want you to use African American media. Absolutely, use everything you've got, my friends. Anything you can use it. Walk into it. Put it out there. My Asian American client, Ryan, doesn't speak a word of Chinese, although he is Chinese. And I had him translate his article into Chinese, put it into the Chinese Times in San Francisco, and they have them all over. And do you know that one article got him $7,000 worth of consulting business? Do you think that might be good? Because I want you to have ROI on your publicity. And what I know is that publicity is one of the most powerful marketing strategies to create visibility, credibility, familiarity, trust, the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome, right? And all of that is key for all of you. What else could you be using? Immigrant. Say again? Immigrant, thank you, absolutely. And where are you from? From Nigeria. Good. Now, also, then we back up and say, in the Nigerian community, are you in the U.S.? Good. I want to know, where are the newsletters? Where are the magazines? Where are the media? Right? So here's a great example, and Emily, you'll appreciate this. I have a woman, she's an optometrist. That's her profession. We talked about how to see clearly now. Ha ha. You get that? Her office, additionally, is in Los Angeles in a Vietnamese community. So I had her translating, again, all articles into Vietnamese, talking about Vietnamese issues around eyesight and different issues that could help them with their eye health. All of that drove 30% more clients to her business to use her optometry services. Don't you think that would be good? Yeah. Right? That's the power of publicity. By the way, before I forget, go to profitofkindness.com, especially those of you who have a book or want to have a book, and I want you to see how a book website is done. Like, this was a particular website just for that book, and then I want you to go down and look at the different media that I've done and watch an interview. Because here's the deal. Most interviews are 4 to 6 minutes long. How long? 4 to 6 minutes. I don't know about you, but I've had relationships that last longer than that. That's quick, my friends, and you better get your message out, you better get heard, you better be noticed, and you better be specific with what you're going out to speak about. So let me teach you how to do that right now. Would that be good?
Yes.
Excellent. So what I want you to do is focus on your message. And think about right now, what's the problem out there? So let's go back to Luna, my client from my publicity course, and she, remember the one who was shot at 8 times, one landed in the face. And so the problem today is that 30 people are shot per hour, in her case, right? How can you take something, whether it's your story, whether it's about what you speak about, whether it's about your book, how can you take what you do and then put it out into the public and or translate something that's about what you present on? So I'm going to give you an example of how this is done, and then I want to actually play with some of you. Would that be good?
Yes.
Excellent. So the problem today, I'm going to just give you mine. The problem today is 4 out of 5 businesses will go out of business because you have no clue how to create publicity without spending a fortune. I want to give you 3 guerrilla publicity tips today for how to get your message in the media. The first way to get noticed is to create your ooh-ah factor. The second way is to create the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. And the third way is to focus on networking magic and show up in your communities at least twice a month for name and face recognition. That's it. That's about 12 seconds. Here's the good news. Your message, you will walk out with it, you will speak it, you will say it, and then, as I like to say, we can talk, right? Because again, 4-6 minutes, then you have time to banter with the host, with the reporter, with the blogger, and by the way, all of it counts. Your social media message, I'm going to tell you something. You change your social media message to this script that I'm giving you right now, and I promise you huge results like my client in Australia, who, by the way, is 4-time author, big speaker, 70 years old, very successful, and one of the things he did was changed it to this formula on his social media and saw a 35% increase in Facebook that day. Do you think that would be good for your business?
Yes.
Absolutely. So if you notice, I gave you a problem and then I gave 3 solutions. I also did one other thing I want to show you. I integrated every book title into my message. You want to know how? Say, tell me how, Jill.
Tell me how, Jill.
Okay, check this out, because I'm going to tell you, I speak a lot, and people hardly notice this, except maybe people who might have seen me before or been in one of my courses. Check this out. I said I'm going to give you 3, guerrilla publicity tips today for how to get your message in the media. Now, those people who are authors, let me see your hands. Where am I holding my book? At my face. And what most authors do is they start moving it around, or you do it down here, which, by the way, diminishes the energy, and you're looking at the wrong place, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so you keep your book up here. Those of you who are working on a book, let me see you. I have an assignment for you. I want you to mock up a fake book cover. Go to killercovers.com. For less than $100, you can get a fake, fun book cover. It doesn't have to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. Write that down if you need to. Done is better than perfect. And you're going to mock up a book cover. And then you're going to put it on your favorite book that gives you great energy and that you love. And you're going to hold it up. And you're going to say, this is my upcoming book. Okay? You might have to do this for 3 years, but it'll be good. And you're going to get that book done because it calls it into motion, right? And then what do I say second? If you want to, this is my book on McGraw-Hill. All my books are over there. If you want to get noticed, right? By the way, make sure you don't cover your name when you're showing things. If you want to get noticed, and what does this feel like? Which is what a lot of people do. Or what does that feel like? Which is what a lot of people do, right? So if you want to get noticed, you don't even have to say the whole thing. And then what was my third one? Who remembers? What was my third tip? Focus on what? Focus on networking magic and show up in your communities at least how many times? Twice a month for name and face recognition. Now I'm working on Prophet of Kindness. It just came out, so give me a moment. I'll work that one in too. But if you noticed, did I hit you over the head with that when I spoke that message? No, it was graceful, it was elegant, it was simple. That's what I want from you. Now, speaking of you, I'd like to work with some of you who would like to play with me on Jill and Friends. And, well, I'm Jill and you're the Friends. Who'd like to play with me and get your message out? Thank you. I see you and I see you. Stand on up and I see you. Let's start with these three.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm called Mia, but I'm Dr. Kim.
Do we have an extra microphone by chance? Mia. By the way, this is a radio show, and she is my first guest. So give her a hand for being brave. Yay! Mia, what's the problem today?
The problem today is 48% of children living in the United States of America live in adverse and traumatic childhoods.
Okay, 48% of children today,
Children today.
and we're going to even leave out the U.S., okay?
Okay.
48% of children today live in traumatic and
48% of children today live in traumatic and stressful environments.
beautiful. Good. Give me one solution. Now, here's another tip I want to give to you, and that is to use you language. Use you language because, Pat, I need to be talking to you. Even when I'm on air, even when you can't see me, right? I want you, tell me your name again. Teresa, to look in the camera and pretend like it's your best friend, right? And I want the person listening, Norma, to you on radio to think, Norma's talking to me, right? How powerful that is. So tell us one thing using you language. What can you do to prevent this to help the children today?
You can use the brainwaving system and use 15 strategies to build children with positive self-images.
Okay, so I'm just telling you, it sounds like a lot and it's too much.
It
So
is.
give me one hot.
That's why I wanted to work with you.
Give me one hot strategy. Like, here's the thing. I want you to use your golden nuggets. Like, what's your golden nugget that people pay you thousands of dollars, hopefully, hundreds of dollars at least, to help them with? What's one powerful golden nugget? What's in her case, brainwave system that would help? Tell us.
15. Choose one. Let's see.
Choose one.
Rather than telling children what to do, ask them.
Beautiful. Stop right there. That was good, right? Soundbite, quick, focused, simple, and effective. Rather than telling children what to do, ask them. And by the way, did you notice the pause? Rather than telling children what to do, ask them. Beautiful. Give her a hand. Thank you. We'll take this. Thank you. And over to here. Inez, thank you. Welcome to Jill and Friends. You're on the air.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
What's the problem today?
We receive more than 60,000 thoughts a day.
Perfect. Stop there. Okay, here's what I want to teach you. Don't tell people too much. They get confused and it becomes too much. So we receive over 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay, as a what? What kind of specialist are you? What kind of expert?
As a woman, we do, and I'm an expert in helping you to decipher those and get rid of them so you can focus on what you want to do.
Okay, good. So as a what kind of expert are you?
Empowerment, confidence.
Beautiful. As a confidence expert, I want to give you at least one. Go ahead.
I want to give you one tip today.
Yes.
To help you get through those 60,000 thoughts and focus on what you want to do.
Excellent. What is it?
Be still. First thing in the
Straight.
morning.
Stop. The first tip I have for you is be still. Do you see did you feel that power? Yeah. Isn't that different? Yeah. I know we were talking about power yesterday. Don't you feel that? Be still. That's exactly what you're teaching people.
Yes.
Give her a hand. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I saw one more person. Before actually I take this last person, can I just take a moment and share with you how you might be able to work with me? Yes. Excellent. Thank you. And then I want to work with you. And who is it? Yes, I saw Barbara. I saw two hands. Okay. So here's the deal, my friends. So you all got those flyers, right? I do a marketing mastermind. It's on Zoom. You don't have to travel anywhere. So check that out. You've got a flyer right on it. And it's the opportunity to do what we're doing now and get some specific advice for you in the area of publicity for your business. It's going to be on Zoom. Don't have to go anywhere. And we'll all come together in a very specialized and focused way. So see, it says 197. Mark that off, please, and make it to 97. All right? So that's a really great way to work with me. Here's what else I want to share with you. I do a publicity course. It's a live Zoom webinar with me, live with me, only 13 people on at a time ever. And it's one-to-one, helping you with your message, all the things you need for your media, and you leave with 4 templates and 3 documents done. So I'm actually in between using my brain on you to help you with your message and the documents that the media needs to say yes to you. Sound good? Okay, so here's the good news. Normally, when I speak, it's $6.97. Okay? So here's what else I want to say to you. Today I'm going to do it at $4.97. Check that out, $4.97. And on top of that, as really a bonus and a gift to you, you can attend my live course whenever you can. So in other words, you start with me on Zoom quickly, and it's live, one-to-one, one to a few, let me just say. And then you come live with me anytime you want to any of those courses that are good for you to come to if you want live, completely as my guest, no extra charge. And then on top of that, I'm throwing in the mastermind. Okay? So you can do 2 things. You can just get the mastermind, no problem, that's $97. Or for $4.97, you get the publicity course and attend live with me and the mastermind. Sound good? It's a great offer. Let me just say, and any of you have seen me, have I ever made that before? Never. So it's an unusual offer, it's an outrageous offer, and I feel inspired to do that to support my speaker friends, and because I love Tanya, and just really to support all of you. But that is literally, that's the Today offer. Okay, so come talk to me about that. If you have anything you want to talk to me about being represented for your book foreign rights deals at Frankfurt and in London. I go to both the London Book Fair and the Frankfurt Book Fair. I'm going to see you, Elliot, in London. And if you want to talk to me about that, and you're a self-published author, talk to me about that. And if you want to get a book out that's been in your heart and in your spirit and in your soul for a while, talk to me about that too. And I'll be over here, and I'll be here through the weekend. So feel free to connect to me. Again, please fill out your drawing. I'm giving away a half hour of publicity consultation for anyone who gives me that in the raffle. And for those of you who sign up with me, you're going to be entered twice to get a free session with me. Okay? Sounds good? Okay, I want to do one more. Barbara, I'm picking you, and I'm going to welcome you to Jill and Friends.
Well, Jill, it's great to be here.
You're
Thank
on
you.
the air. You're on the air.
I'm on the air.
What's the problem today?
The problem that I'm facing
No,
is
not you, them. What's the problem out there?
50% of our students in many urban environments are dropping out of school.
Good, that was it. Okay, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that standards and testing have created children who are complacent and compliant
Okay,
and bored.
wait. I love you. Too much information. So this is, you're a professor, right?
A teacher.
A teacher, see, here's the thing, and as speakers, you want to tell everybody everything. Please don't. Okay? Tell them the main points, get your message clear, tell them the PowerPoints, give them the sexy stuff, and then exit stage left, because then you still have something to talk about. Does that make sense? What would you tell people?
Young people have the power and the ability to create their own reality.
So I want you as a young person to know, okay, I'm going to reframe her message. I want you as a young person to know that you have the power to reframe and recreate your reality. That's it, stop. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All right, give her a hand. Woohoo! So I'm delighted to be here today and always excited to share with my sweet and wonderful fellow speakers, and excited to support all of you who come in to work with me. And most importantly, I want to remind you, your message matters. Thank you, everybody.